Hey guys, it's Manda, and today is Sunday, October 2nd, 2011, and this is marking my week 17 post-op from gastric bypass, and on Thursday, October 6th, that means I am 4 months post-op, which is kind of weird. You don't, because the way the weeks and the months work out, it's weird. Didn't make an update last week for week 16, so we'll have to include that in this video, because I was just feeling like crap. To recap, back in week 14, I had my 100-day appointment with my surgeon, and then the following, and everything was fine. I felt good. I complained about being a little bit tired, and he ordered some labs to check my iron, and they ended up being okay. But then the next day when I was making dinner for my husband, I just all of a sudden felt sick, and I had to go lay down, and I ended up throwing up blood, and he had to call my surgeon, who said, get her down here. And the following morning, after being up in the ER all night long, they put me in ICU. They did an endoscopy and found that I have a bleeding ulcer on a blood vessel that connected my jejunum, which is my intestine, to my new pouch. They said it's kind of a common thing. It's not necessarily anything I did wrong, because that was my main concern, was that it was something I did wrong. They kept me for 4 days. I gained 5 pounds in IV fluid. They released me Monday. That Wednesday of week 15, I had to go in for blood work and follow up with my PCP, who is on maternity leave until the end of October. So I met up with one of her partners, because her and 2 other doctors, they job share. They did my blood work, felt on my belly, blah, blah, blah. Told me that I would expect black tarry stool or maroon colored stool for a few days, because it's residual blood that's needing to pass through your system. I ended up contacting them again this last Monday, because I'm still having issues in that department with the stool. And I told them, you said it would take a couple of days. It's been a week. Should I be worried? They said come in for blood work. They checked my blood. Things were okay. Wednesday, I was feeling really awful, just really drained, really horrible. Went in for blood work, and they said, your numbers are dipping a little. Come back in tomorrow. So I went back in on Thursday evening, and they ran my blood, and they didn't like my numbers, so they kept me, and they gave me more blood, and they gave me more blood, they gave me some IV fluid, but they said I seemed to be doing okay on my own, so they sent me on my way. And so that brings us to yesterday. Yesterday, Saturday, Aunt Flo decided to come see me. She didn't? Okay. I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. So before surgery, and I'm sorry if there's guys watching this and this is like way too much info for some people, but you know, hey, that's what this blog's all about, right? Right. With my PCOS, my periods were few and far between. I'd have them, like, for starters, I would bleed anywhere from 9 to 13 days at a time. And my periods have always been super heavy, super painful, and my OB has just been, I want a new one anyway, has just kind of chalked it up and said, well, that's because you don't have your period every month. And I did not want to be on birth control pills, because they weren't helping. They didn't make them less heavy, less hurtful. So anyway, my periods, I'd get them like for 13 days, and then I'd get them for 13 days, and there'd be like 6 to 9 months lapse between them sometimes. Well, most of the time. So, you know, when it finally did show up, it was a major shock to my system. Well, since surgery, they've been right on time like clockwork. But it didn't show up at the beginning of September. And I think that might have been because of my ulcer. Because I think my body was focusing on issues elsewhere. And now that the ulcer is fixed, surprise! And you're on the mend. But after you've had problems with bleeding in places that blood should not be coming from, like throwing it up and elsewhere, and you're dealing with iron issues and being anemic and constipation and all that other stuff and trying to stay hydrated, the last thing you need is for Aunt Flo to show up. But she showed up and she came on with a vengeance, and I'm being very careful about monitoring how I'm feeling, because I already know that, you know, like I said, she showed up with a vengeance. So I'm losing a lot of blood, and I'm not trying to be too graphic and gross, but it's heavy, it's painful. I emailed my doctor and said, we've got to do something about this. Yesterday was a very hard emotional day for me, and my husband just kind of tried to talk me off my ledge because I was going crazy. I came unglued and I cried hysterically for about 3 hours, and I still don't know why. I was laying in bed watching TV, and I was watching a comedy, and I just kind of came unglued. And I came out to my husband and sat with him, and all he could do for like an hour was just hold me and let me cry, because nothing he said was making it right. Nothing I was saying was making it right. And I was a basket case. And he tried to talk me off my ledge and said, you know, your body has been through so much over the years of deteriorating and not working right, and now all of a sudden you've put your ducks back in order and things are moving and doing what they're supposed to be doing, and it's just your hormones. They don't know they're up from their down, and your body is not used to having your hormones working properly. So your body and you need to work together, and right now you're working against each other. And I'm like, this guy is so smart. This is why I married him. But so I emailed my doctor, and I told her, I said, I am in a lot of pain. I'm very emotional, and something's got to give. I don't know what we need to do, but we need to solve this, because if I have to go through this again, I will end up on the 5 o'clock news. I'm worried. I'm not really worried about people around me. I'm worried about myself right now. I'm not saying I'm going to go out and like hurt myself, but just my mental state, I'm crying for no reason, and that's not normal. It's not. I couldn't even tell you why I was crying. Don't know. I just know that it went on forever, and I went through 2 boxes of Kleenex and a roll of toilet paper. And I don't know why. But I'm not going to put myself through that again. So I wrote her and I said, we need to discuss what to do about my periods, because Tylenol was not helping. I had some Midol Complete that someone said I could take. That didn't touch it. Plus, I was worried because they told me with the ulcer to stay away from caffeine. Well, the Midol that I have has caffeine in it. So I was nervous the whole time that I was taking that. And it didn't touch it. I did manage to find I found my prescription of oxycodone that they gave me after surgery that they sent me home with that I never needed. So I actually have been taking that, and it's only 5 milligrams a pill. So I've been taking 1 just to take the edge off of how I'm feeling. But I can't go to work like that. So like I said, I told her something needs to be done. I need to tackle the painful problem, and I also need to possibly go back on my Lamictal. I was on that for almost 2 years before surgery, and then I weaned off of it right before surgery. And I've been doing okay when I don't have my periods. But the other thing is I think I have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. But I also have what they diagnosed me with is called PMDD. It's premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And I really think that I need my Lamictal to help me with that, because before, when I was on my Lamictal, it did help when I had my period. And now that it's more often, more common, more frequent, I really think that we need to get some medicinal intervention going on. And I don't really like to be a pill popper, and I hate taking all my vitamins, and it's just a routine I need to try to get myself into. So the idea of adding one more thing to my daily regimen just doesn't make me happy. But for my sanity and my husband's sanity and everyone around me, I think that this is the step we're going to have to take. And there's nothing wrong with it, and I'm admitting now that I need some extra help, and it's not going to be forever. It's just going to be to help me balance myself back out. So, alrighty, I'm going to quit rambling, and I'm probably going to go take a nap. But I just wanted to keep you guys up to date on what's going on with me. And if you haven't followed me on Facebook yet, follow me on Facebook. I'm on there under the same name, Changing Me For Me, at gmail.com. And I hope you guys have a great week. And can you believe it's October already? Oh my God. I am going to have to go out and get me some decaf coffee, because my favorite thing about this time of year, and I'm not a major big coffee drinker, but I do love pumpkin spice lattes. And they're out, they're back, and I'm not supposed to do caffeinated drinks. So I'm hoping to find me some decaf coffee, because I've got sugar-free pumpkin pie spice Da Vinci Tarani coffee syrup. So I would really love to have one of those. But anyway, I'm happy that it's finally fall, because this chickie, even though she's losing weight, her bigger body does not do well in heat. And so even though I am having a problem with keeping my hands warm lately, I would rather be cold than be hot. So happy fall, everyone, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.